Okay, so we're going to try this again. If I'm loud and clear, and if the okay, so we're going to try this again. If I'm loud and clear, and if the text is synced up with the keeps repeating. Okay, so we're going to try this again. If I'm loud and clear, and if the text is synced up with keeps repeating. Okay, so we're going to try this again. If I'm loud and clear, and if the text is yeah. So I don't know what's going on with the echoing. I'm going to have to just cancel this until I can figure it out. Unfortunately, I can't figure it out unless I have some people that are willing to listen to me. I will definitely try to figure this out and get back with you folks. I do apologize for wasting your time. Respectfully. Take care. It's all good now, you're saying. Take a look at something here. If you folks don't mind just hanging out and give me a little bit of feedback, I really would appreciate it as I try to make a few adjustments. I have a feeling I know what's wrong here. This is quite humiliating, but it's odd. It's as though I don't have it. What it's doing, it's actually it's okay. So Mello, thank you. I appreciate it. What it's doing on my end, when I say something, it actually is recording it, and then it's playing it over and over and over in a loop in the background. And then anytime I say something new, it puts the new stuff over the recording, and then it starts to create a bad echo. So, you know, I do apologize. Thank you, Elaine, for your understanding. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Huh, okay. I don't know what to say. Yeah, but Mikey, what's going on is, if I can just show you, I got a, I don't even see myself. I don't see the chat. I don't see nothing here. So I got one small idea here. Control C for copy. And unfortunately, you kind of need a couple of people that are willing and have time on their hands that are willing to hang out and okay, so one thing has fixed. Yeah, well, I'm using the same program I used yesterday. So if everybody can tell me, is my voice synced up as I'm speaking right now to the video? Yes or no? If anybody could tell me. Okay, so it is. Thank you so much. Okay, I think I got it figured out. Yeah, so I downloaded a program that, thank you, Silver Wolverine, Gateway, Oz Hunter, CP, We the People, Milo, North Country Off Grid. Your face is good. My face is never good, dude. I got a birth defect. John Wick, I love those movies. John Wick, So Mellow, Mikey in the House, Fusero, So Mellow. CP, if I haven't mentioned, James Griffin. I just wonder, what do you guys want to talk about? I'm actually going to go buy a TV for my wife. She's in the cabin up north in the mountains. And believe it or not, the only television she has there is in the bedroom. So every time she wants to watch television, poor thing, she has to go to the bedroom and watch television. So I want to buy something for the living room and whatnot. But anyway, I just wanted to reach out to you folks, maybe get a conversation going on whatever you want to talk about. You know, I want to talk about silver, gold. Ray S., thank you for being in the house. And the thing I like about this new software, I can actually sit back now and relax a little bit without being in front of the camera to look at the... So what you're seeing is what I'm seeing now. But We the People Walmart, Bitcoin. Thank you so much, Bitcoin Bo. Hey, by the way, I want to give a shout out and a thank you, a public shout out to Bitcoin Bo. I'm trying to convince him to get a YouTube channel. He called me and tried to educate me. And he is an amazing person when it comes to cryptocurrency. If anybody wants to know about cryptocurrency, if he'll accept YouTube messages, he is the man. He knows about charts and everything. I'm trying to convince him to get his own YouTube channel. Thank you again, Bitcoin, and I hope I didn't overstep my bounds here or my boundaries. I just was very impressed with your intellect. Dominic Broom bought some Canadian maples for the 0.99. Oh, speaking of the 0.99 squad, you guys got to hear this. Now the shirt is up in it's up in the White Mountains. Some anonymous person took it upon themselves to design a shirt. The shirt arrived in the P.O. box. My wife told me about it. I'm going to go up there and check it out. I guess it was basically a sample. He designed it, and then he's, you know, if I like it, I can buy more from him. I'm going to take a look at the shirt and maybe wear it on a live stream, and we'll see, you know, what I think about it or what tweaks I would like to make to the design. But my wife says it has one of the shirt, one of the samples, I guess the free samples. Some of these shirt dealers, they send you a free sample before you then go into you know, contract with them. By the way, for those people who hate Starbucks, this is not Starbucks coffee. This is actually Sprouts coffee. I grind it myself, but the mug that I got it in, I like the mug. Gotta mow some grass? Is it something I said, Bitcoin? I hope not. I really don't. I really hope I didn't overstep my bounds. Take care, sir. I really appreciate it. We the people. Hunter a safe. I don't understand what you mean. I do not understand what you mean. Hello, Greece. You know, from me. Got Constitution Silver. Bye. I tried Starbucks for the first time yesterday and gave it to the parking lot. You know what? Like I said, I go and buy my own beans, and actually I'll sometimes grind them there. And you can kind of mix. So I'll mix a little espresso with a little Colombian, because the darker the roast, the less caffeine. So what I'll do is I'll get some like Colombian light roast and mix it with the espresso that they have there, and I'll have like a combination of coffee basically. And I come here to my espresso machine and I make my own lattes every day. But I kind of like to start off the conversation with silver and see where it goes from there. You know, in a lot of videos, I do have to apologize. I get a lot of new viewers every day. And some of the stuff I might have mentioned a month ago, the new viewers haven't heard. So out of respect for them, I like to share some of the information. For those 0.99 squad people, I got a little something to show you. Let me see, I don't want to get the angle too bad. This camera that I'm using right here is a Logitech. It's not the sharpest camera, but I'm doing the best I can with it. It's basically a webcam is what it is. It's just a webcam. Nothing high end or anything. Literally, when I bought it years ago, it was like $40, $49. You know, I'll tell you folks again to purchase some silver. Get some silver. Feel it in your hand. And hold it and feel the weight. It's so deceiving, the size of this, and your brain tells you it should be much lighter, but when you put it in your hand, it's actually quite heavy. You know, what's my take on collecting vintage silver? To me, silver is silver. You know, whether it's old or new, just get it. No disrespect. Do you bury any of your silver? So when you say North Country, do I bury my silver? For that matter, do I bury anything? It's actually a good idea, and they call it a cache, I believe. And you can get a PVC pipe, by the way, and glue two ends on it, and whatever's inside is what you're going to bury, obviously. My advice is, yes, I would bury something. I would actually throw some cash in there, because that is the system that is given to us, and we must utilize their system if we want to live and breathe on this damn planet. Pretty much. I can't go into a store and give them this silver bar. They won't take it for food. And if I want to eat, I have to somehow have a backup of cash. So I would put my fiat cash in the pipe, maybe a small caliber gun, some bullets, maybe some medical supplies, yes, some silver, and whatever else you can think of, a couple of MREs. And yes, bury it somewhere with maybe an oxygen absorber inside of that. And bury it somewhere where you damn well know there won't be any future construction. I mean, you damn well better know that there's no construction. That's why I advocate, let's say, a city park or a national park or something like that, where you know there'll never be any construction or any kind of repairs or any kind of underground utilities, and definitely GPS coordinate that location and write those coordinates down. That's definitely what I would do. And as far as the weapon, if you're doing a weapon, a backup weapon and ammo, wrap the weapon in an oiled rag. Then put the old rag in a Glad baggie so it doesn't contaminate whatever else you're attempting to cache. That's what I would do. If you were given $100,000, where would you invest it in? $100,000, I have to say, I would invest it in partial land, paying off land debt that way, because believe it or not, that's investing. But I would definitely do silver and gold. And I'm sorry to say, I would do some cryptos. I really would do some cryptos. It's going to be forced down our throats whether we like it or not. The fiat currency system that we have now is currently dying. It truly is. It is currently dying, and it's going to actually blow up from the debt. And they're going to need another system. Regardless if I'm right or wrong, let's just hypothetically say I'm wrong, and the cash, the dollar, is not going to crash. I'll take the devil's advocate there. They're still looking for another system to control us, to replace the dollar, to track every little thing we buy and sell, regardless of whether we like it or not. They want a system where every little nickel can be taxed. Whether we like it or not, it's coming. When you get in on something in the infancy stages like cryptos, you stand a good chance to make a lot of money. But once it's matured and the system is then deployed upon the people, there'll be no room really for making money. Many people who invested in Bitcoin when it was just $1 or $2 are multimillionaires. We got people in their 20s who invested in Bitcoin when Bitcoin was only $1 or $2. They're now multi-millionaires living the rest of their lives on yachts. Would I sell my silver to buy property or hold? See, the scroll is going a little bit quick. I'm sorry. Yeah, the scroll is going a little bit quick for me to really read the messages. East Valley near Florence. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see if I can fix this text on the fly here. Doesn't look like I can change the font. I do apologize. Let's take a look here. I don't think cryptos is old news. I really don't. Yeah, I think I figured it out here. I really don't think cryptos is old news at all. No disrespect intended. I think it's in its infant stages. The only people that know about it are basically you folks, really, and the people who are in cryptos. But outside of, maybe I need to articulate that differently. Yeah, I'm in and out of focus because I'm moving back and forth. I do apologize. I don't, just like silver, I think a fraction of 1% knows about cryptos, just like silver. I always say that the 0.99 squad, the people who stack silver, we're just 1% of 1%, really, honestly. And it's the same thing with cryptos. It's not in its infant stage. Do I bury any of your silver? No, I have not buried any of my silver. I have a very good sturdy safe, and that is actually the name brand, Sturdy. I recommend you look into them, Sturdy gun safes, pound per pound. I think they're just as good, if not better, than Liberty. Been drinking coffee the wrong way. A. Rodriguez, tell me how to drink my coffee. I do drink it as an espresso, and I like black coffee, but I like a latte every now and then. Oh man, that tastes so good. That tastes so good in the morning. The warmth, I could just feel the warmth going right down my chest into my little belly. Will it be Mylar bag video? I got to do one. I've been promising to do one of those Mylar bags. We the people, okay, got it. I don't know what I said that was too redundant for you. Thanks for the info. I'm new into silver, but we'll be introducing it on our YouTube channel. Well, give it a try. You'll give up combo when they hold a gun to your wifey's head. Well, the thing about it, Keith, let's address that for a second. Nobody knows where I live. And if somebody just happened to show up, I will deal with it right then and there. You don't come knocking on my door unannounced, uninvited. That's just the way it is. I won't even attempt to be cordial with somebody who just comes up to me, let's say from YouTube land. Hey, I found you. I won't even attempt to be cordial with them. I will deal with them immediately. And as far as the safe, nobody knows I have a safe, except for you folks. But I'm not telling you where the safe is or anything, and I don't advertise. I don't even brag to my friends I have a safe. I don't even, nothing like that. So in the event that, yeah, I mean, obviously we can revert to movie scripts, and yeah, somebody can be holding a gun to my wife's head, and yes, yeah, anything could happen. Home invasion happens. Yeah, it does, but not to me. No, never bought a maple 10-ounce coin. Never, 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 never. But they are pretty. Yeah, no one comes to my house uninvited. I can understand the kid who's trying to sell candy for his school, or the Girl Scouts. I would never be disrespectful or mean to those people. But if somebody comes up to my door and says, "Hey, I seen you on YouTube and I figured out where you live," oh well. It would end right then and there. That person would walk away knowing they made a dire mistake. Would you take a 401k loan to buy gold and silver? Chance, yes, I would. And I have. Not only have I taken a 401k loan to buy gold and silver, I've done it to pay off debt. And people who stand to make money off of your 401k, like banks and 401k associated businesses, will advise you against it because they stand to lose money. Think about this. Your debt, the interest rate on your debt. What is it? Some of it is what? 9.9, 12.9. Some of it is 19.9. Now credit cards are up to 30% interest rate. What's your 401k loan interest rate? Not much. What, 4, 5%? You got it. You might as well knock out your debt. Pay back the student loan at that 4.9 interest rate or whatever that low interest rate is. All you're doing is basically consolidating your debt. And the same thing with silver, but I want to cover debt because I think taking a 401k loan out on debt is more viable and more wise than doing it for silver. But take a 401k loan out on your debt, and that way you're paying your student loan back, that interest rate. But did you know when you take a student loan out, you're not paying the interest rate back to anybody but yourself? Yes. So you might be charged an interest rate on that debt, like that 4.9%. But that interest rate that you're paying now is being paid back into your 401k loan account. I'm sorry, into your 401k account. So definitely consider a 401k. It has worked out extremely well for me. And this is not like something I did yesterday where I don't have a track record of its effects. I've done it multiple years ago, about 3 years ago, and to this day it has not come back to haunt me in any negative way. Thank you very much, Manjir Jaber. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Eris, thank you, from Greece. I love Greek food. Oh man, some tzatziki sauce and some moussaka or I love it all. I just love it all. Dub City Stacker, Keith Williams in the house. Funk to Tad for sale. Yeah, Funk, yeah, the system can crash. I can walk out there and have a freaking heart attack or get ran over by a vehicle, but you got to attempt to succeed and not say, well, this can fail. A meteor can strike you dead where you stand. So don't try anything to get out of debt. Don't do anything you're saying. You know, I say invest in cryptos. Oh, but the internet can crash, or the servers, or an EMP from the solar flare. And so what? You're going to just sit there like this? Okay, EMP, I'm not going to try to get rich. I mean, that's crazy. I'm not trying to diss you or anything, but I'm just trying to say, hey, we still got to live, right? It's kind of like the old thing, don't let terrorists win. Go and live your life. Alaska Prepper in the house. Would you say if you stack 1 ounce gold or the equivalent in silver for every 20K worth of debt? Man, that thing goes by quick. I'd say pay off your debt first. Try to pay off your debt. If you can pay off your debt and do some investing at the same time, more power for you. Just do it. Whatever you do it. OverTaxed. My largest silver bar is 10 ounce, and that's what I like. That's the size I like. I don't even think I even seen a 20 ounce silver bar. I'm currently trying to get my gold and silver ratio more into balance. Extremely heavily silver weight ATM. Yeah. Hey, are you Greek Italian? No, I'm not. I am not. But I do love Greek food. I really do. Moussaka. I used to live in Tarpon Springs, and it's the largest Greek community in the United States, believe it or not. And amazing food, amazing food. I actually, as a kid, I used to work for a Greek restaurant, one of the best Greek restaurants I've ever eaten at to date. And this guy, he was from Greek, yelled, shout, threw pots and pans across the room, a real Greek, real piece of work. But his food was like phenomenal. Lemon potatoes, oh man, amazing. Bars versus coins, yeah, I mean, you could say that some of it are easy. To me, it doesn't matter either way. It really is irrelevant. There's no right or wrong way. I think some of these this versus that is really a what is more correct question. You know, which one is more better? There's no better when it comes to stacking silver. Just get some, but make it fun. Buy stuff that you also like to look at. You know, why buy an ugly round, you know, or an ugly generic? Why do that? Get some eagles, get some maple leaves, get the coin of your country first and foremost, because it's most recognizable in your country. You know, I don't know if they're going to recognize a maple leaf in, let's say, I don't know, Sweden. I don't know. So whatever the coin is most recognizable in your country, that's what your primary stack should be, because it is most recognizable in the event that you have to sell it or trade it in. They're not going to wonder, is this real? I've never seen this design before. So that's my advice, and I'm sticking to it. Here in the United States, it's eagles and maple leaves for us. A. Rodriguez, man, loved Canada when we were there. Really loved Canada. It was just awesome. It was just awesome. Cryptos, yes. I want to get into cryptos. I mentioned it before. I want to take the dive into to trying to make some money when cryptos. See, when the big boys get into it, and what they're doing now, they're going to get into it, and that's going to drive the price up. And that you want to be in it before they are in it, and slowly but surely they are getting into it. You know, there's airlines now that are accepting, and I know I'm repeating myself from the other live chats, but there's airlines now that accept Bitcoin and LITECOIN. More and more companies every day are accepting cryptocurrencies. Did you know the places online that sell silver now accept Bitcoin as payment? Honest to God, go take a look at some of them. They accept Bitcoin as payment. These people, these big corporations, they're not stupid. They know what's coming. They too are getting into it at an earlier stage. No, there's not enough silver on this planet. They say that if you dug up every molecule of silver on this planet, there's only enough for 1/10 ounce per person at best. There might not even be enough for 1/10 of an ounce of per person. This is 10 of those. This 1 ounce coin is 10 of those. Imagine if everybody on this planet started stacking silver. There wouldn't be enough silver to go around. There'd only be 1/10 ounce, the size of a dime, per person. True statement. Some people say that silver is more rare than gold, and that's why it is manipulated more. So what's the most I'll pay over spot? You know, that's you know, I'd say, depending on, let's say, an ounce. We'll go by an ounce. $2, $2.50, right in there. You pay a higher premium for the Eagles, but you are likely to get back when you sell. That's right. A lot of people gripe about the premiums, but a lot of times, by the time, and the key word was by the time you're ready to sell, the silver should have already increased beyond that premium, and you will then get it back. But you'll also get back the premium of that, of the future, of like what the premium is in 10 years from now. I'm trying to say, whatever, let's just say this coin in 10 years, what's the premium going to be? $4 or $5, let's say. This just hypothetically, you will get that back. You're going to get it. I mean, obviously, if you bought a silver coin last week and you paid $2.50 for it, and you go to turn around and sell it a week later, yeah, of course you're not going to get it back. Diamonds, no. I don't have an opinion on that. I just don't think, I don't know. Will I ship my products? What products? T-shirts. If and when I do start selling T-shirts, I don't know. I've never had to ship anything to Europe, so I would have to check out the cost and the effort. Because sometimes going through customs, it can be a real pain in the butt, unfortunately. It really can. I would love to get the shirts out once we do decide on a design. And I got a logo up here that I want for the back. On my shirt, there's going to be a logo in the back, and there's going to be just a logo on the upper left breast. That's the way I like my shirts. I don't like the logo in the front. I ride a Harley, and therefore I like my logos and everything on the back while I'm hunched over on the bike. Even if I'm not riding, I still think a shirt looks better with the logo on the back and a small logo on the upper left front. That's my taste in far as t-shirts, and I kind of got an idea. It's going to say .99 Squad, and in the back it's going to have the AOTTP in big letters, and then underneath it it's going to have another overtaxed taxpayer, and right underneath it in the back. And that's the idea. I'm actually going to start drawing it out and maybe start working on that logo. That's right, Englehart and Jonathan Matthey all day long. Very good. Now, talking about an expensive name brand when it comes to silver. Englehart and Jonathan Matthey. Absolutely. I mean, they're the most renowned. Any coin shop will know what those two name brands are. And I don't care what country you're in. However, they're something like 20% higher in price for the same quality of silver. Teespring, I will look into them. I would definitely look into them as long as they're allowed to, as long as I'm allowed to utilize my concepts that are up here. Although I'm not a good artist, I do have something floating up here as far as the design, Mikey. I also don't want to be in contract with somebody where I have to sell so many shirts, because I don't want to be online trying to sell t-shirts and pushing t-shirts. It is not good for my image. It's not what I'm not a good salesperson. It's not what I want to do. So as long as I can basically call them up and say, send a t-shirt to the address here in Las Vegas, I'm happy. Valcambi bars are dividable. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Definitely. What do I think about the Krugerrand silver coin? Well, I've only seen the gold, and the gold coin is absolutely gorgeous. So I would imagine the silver coin is just as pretty. Why do you have a defaced flag on your videos? It's that question's going to somebody else. My apologies. Do you buy any numismatics? No, I don't. I don't. All right, Mikey. First of all, Mikey, being on the medication I'm on from my hospital stay and my heart stent, I'm very forgetful. Actually, no, I'll just do it myself. I'll just copy and paste and just create a little memo. I was going to ask you to email it to me or something, but I just copied and pasted it. Well, it can be Geiger bars. What do you think about Kruger? Right on. Why pay more for 1 ounce of silver versus 1 ounce silver bar? Again, the eagle. I keep going back to it. The eagle here in the United States is the most recognizable coin. That is why. There are no government minted silver bars. All bars are basically generic. All bars might not be recognizable in every location. Now, obviously, this is an AppMex bar. Obviously. Any silver dealer would probably know what AppMex company is. However, let's just talk about other bars that might not be created from AppMex. Not everybody's going to recognize every design. That's just the bottom line. Yeah, I tell you, the Royal Canadian Mint makes some nice bars. I forgot about them. I can't remember everything. And besides, I don't live in Canada, so it's what they do is, just from hearsay. What's my advice to share silver knowledge? It's cut and dry, because when you explain silver to one person, and it might work, it might not work for another person. So there's no one way to convince people to buy silver, unfortunately. What works for one person might not work for another person. I guess the best way to do it is explain why you store silver, why you believe silver is better than the dollar or whatever country's monetary system you're living in. But just keep in mind, it might work for one person, and then you try that same spiel on somebody else, it might not work. I will say this, don't be forceful when you're trying to convince anybody of anything, because most people have a defense mechanism. And if you come off too strong, they're going to go on the defensive. Be modest, be respectful, don't be forceful. And when they kind of give you a little pushback, you stop. Don't try to convince them of anything. Just explain why you do it, but don't try to convince anybody of anything. Don't try to convince anybody that Jesus is real. Don't try to convince anybody that socialism is bad. You can explain why you think socialism is bad and then walk away. And I think they'll have more respect for you. So that's how I would convince somebody. I go off on these tangents. How do you convince somebody to stack silver? But I like to talk in metaphors and analogies. We the People. I love that name. I really do. Robert McGee, thank you very much. Eagles have a different what, buddy? It's all good if you like hand poured. Trump 2020. Kilo bar. I have a buddy at work who brought a kilo bar in. It was pretty big. I mean, I would say the bar was about almost a foot long, maybe 10 inches, and I would say it was about an inch and 3/4 thick, and I would say it was about 4 inches wide. The thing was impressive. Actually, it might have been a 100-ounce bar, not a kilo. I don't recall. Eagles aren't taxed when sold. I've never sold an eagle. I've never sold any silver yet. Okay, so pristine green. It must have been the 100-ounce then that I'm talking about. But it was impressive nonetheless. It really was. No, I'm not back in the gym yet. I'm going to wait about another week or two, and then I'm going to slowly get back into it. Fortunately for me, there's a lot of muscle memory. I will make the gains back rather quickly. I will adapt and overcome my heart problem right now. I'm 55 years old. and I just got to make changes. I know I've said this before. I've just got to make changes. I can't live like I'm a a 21-year-old anymore. I can't compete with the 21 years old people. I can't drink as much as they can. I can't party as much as they can anymore. You know, it comes a time when you just have to recognize what your body's telling you. I tell you what, though, I go in the gym. I can compete with them there, but not in the bars, and I can't eat as many wings as they can anymore. All right, Mikey, take care. Thank you for your t-shirt advice. Mojo Dancer, don't buy silver that has tax exemption. Bars are large. You melt and pour into smaller molds. So what do you want to know about the diet? Any diet is good. I mean, everybody's diet, what works for me doesn't necessarily work for somebody else, so me, it's about a third protein, third carbs, and a third fat. Maybe a little bit more protein than a third. But yeah, when you're younger and you're working out, you definitely need the fats also. But they're good fats. So when I say fats, that doesn't mean go and swallow a jar of mayonnaise. So yeah, for me, it's a 40, 30, 30 ratio, basically. Thank you very much, Hugo. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm about ready to head out also. I really appreciate everybody stopping by. I'm actually not going to do as many live streams. I thought about it. I don't want to oversaturate. And, when you oversaturate the market, the people go, oh. And that's not where I want to be also. I don't want to be in people's faces and whatnot. I don't want to be one of those that oversaturates. You know what I'm trying to say. I want to also stick to videos and meaningful videos. Here, it's good where I can just constantly change subject matters as the questions come up. But there's also things I like to talk about. I like to cover subject matters in detail and whatnot. Personally, I'm just thinking AG that looks like so is good thinking. Certain junk are hard to distinguish from non-modern. Yeah. Ornament Border Britannia. Very nice coin. I'll have to check it out, Milo. I really think there's so many good coins out there. You know what you folks should check out? If you're really bored with coins a little bit, go check out, I think most of them are on SD Bullion. They look like pirate booty. They'll have like skulls and bones on them and wrecked ships and treasure chest on them. And that company sells about, I don't know, 20 different, I call them pirate booty, but obviously that's not the right, they're generic rounds, but they're phenomenal. They are some of the prettiest rounds, in my opinion, anywhere. And they say they sell those pirate type of coins in various other locations. I think they sell some on AppMex and whatnot. But I say go to SD Bullion because I know they have the bulk of options there. And they're just freaking awesome. And you can get some of them that are 2 ounces. They're like a 1/4 inch thick. They're just freaking gorgeous. High relief too. Yeah, I said booty. That's the only time you talk, Silver Stranger. I say the word booty, you're like, whoop, whoop. Booty, where's the booty? Where's the booty? But I meant to say pirate booty. But I think that's what they call it, booty, right? The old timers, they used to call, they used to call it pirate booty, didn't they? Or am I mistaken? I love pirate shit. Abandon. JM has them too. Backyard Bullion has some hand-poured pirate silver. Silver Shield. That might be where I'm talking about. Check out Silver Shield or SD Bullion. I get confused between the two of those folks. But one of them has a lot of options as far as the Pirate series. Did my grandparents collect silver? If you're talking to me, no, unfortunately not. And believe it or not, I just woke up from being a zombie about 8 years ago. 8 to 10 years ago. Maybe closer to 10 years ago. I've been awake. I used to be just like these zombies walking around Walmart, thinking the world is good and thinking that the paper dollar is the best thing on this planet. And having the most digits in the bank account is what defines you as a successful man. And that's not the truth. I woke up and decided the dollar bill is the worst thing to have and does not define you as successful. Having real wealth and having your debt paid off, that is what defines you as successful. How did I wake up? It was an osmosis type of thing. It was sitting in a truck for years, doing my job as a security guard, and just sitting in a freaking truck for 9 hours, 8-9 hours a day, every day for 4 years, listening to people like Michael Savage, listening to them over and over and over, and then trying various other talk show hosts when I got bored of that one. And it's just, that's how I woke up. In the span of 4 years, I kind of understood a bit what's going on around me. And to this day, I'm still waking up. To this day, I'm still learning the deception that is placed upon us by our government. So I don't, as I sit here now, doesn't mean I know it all. Because I never want to give that impression that I know it all. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly looking at my favorite YouTube channels and learning. Michael Savage rocks. He really does. I like him. I like somebody who says it like it is and doesn't beat around the bush. I really do. That's right, we the people, it's a process. I respect somebody who just is to the point, no matter how rude they are. Obviously, I don't want to be talked to in a rude manner, but give me the truth, give it to me the way it should be presented. Don't beat around the bush. You know? And I like people who talk like that, like Michael Savage. Yeah, Creature from Jekyll Island. I have not read it, but I heard a lot about it. And because you, Wendy, brought it up, I have a video that I'm telling everybody else about now. One of the most influential videos I've ever watched to wake me up. And I got to give you guys a warning about this video. I got to give you guys a warning about this video. You got to make it through the first half. The first half is very boring, but it is crucial that you watch it, because then you will understand the more exciting part, and that's the second half. It explains the first half basically is a college course of this movie. It explains the creation of money and why it was created. Different forms of money. There were sticks that were money with little notches in them. But it's called The Secret of Oz. I pray that you watch this movie. It is the most fundamental, the most crucial video I have ever watched to wake me up to the banker's scheme. The banker's vampiristic system that sucks the life force, sucks the wealth from people slowly over time, over decades. The Secret of Oz. It's on here on YouTube. Yes, sir. We the People, The Secret of Oz. Again, you gotta, it's about 1 hour and 45 minutes, or 2 hours long, but the first half of that movie, it's kind of like being in a college course. You're just listening to what money is, why it was created, and different forms of monetary systems of the past. Once you can get past that first half, the video is going to freaking piss you off. It's going to blow your flippin' mind. But do not fast forward to the second half without watching the first half, because you really won't understand it, and it's going to lose all effect. It's here on YouTube. There's various YouTube clips of it. You can download, I mean, you can watch clips at a part like 1 of 9, 2 of 9, 3 of 9, but there's also YouTube videos here that show the entire thing in one video. Okay? So that's what I do. I'll locate the one that's the full length one and watch that one instead of watching 9 separate or 12 separate videos. That is the video, and I know I'm going to stop harping on it, that really, really woke me up to the bullshit of the dollar bill. Gateway 17, whose videos have slowed up a bit? I'm curious. Is it mine? Oh, it must be Gerald Celente. Yeah, I like Gerald Celente too. I like his style of talk. Okay? I like a person who just says it the way it is. And that's why I like Michael Savage also. It kind of reminds me of my own dad. Mike Maloney's Secrets of Money. Yeah, Microsoft CEO just sold 30% of his shares. So guess what? You think he knows something is about to happen? I don't know what CFJI is. So can you basically spell that out? And I'll look into it, Wendy. Creature from Jekyll Island. So again, on that, I haven't read the book, but I am aware that many elite met there to basically plan the future of our country. Imagine that, a small group of people dictating the direction, the multitudes of people, and how they're going to live. Can you imagine that? A small group of people controlling the masses, and that's what's going on today. A small group of people controlling the masses. It's crazy. I'm just playing with the screen here. Okay, Winnie, we'll check it out. Mike Maloney is a salesman. I mean, yeah, possibly. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Thank you, The Empire Strikes Back. Floyd, do yourself a favor, read E.G. Griffin. I will. I will. I definitely will. But yeah, so waking up from the matrix, it's a process. It really is. You just don't listen to one person one day in one short conversation and be awoke. It's not like that. It is a process of learning. It's a process of checking people's information out, because I don't know you from Adam, and you could tell me the bankers are bad. Unless I take the initiative and then Google what you just told me, go home and Google it, that's when the process starts. But just taking people's word, oh, the earth is flat. You know what I'm saying? You just can't listen to everybody, and obviously when you do, take everybody's word with a grain of salt, even mine, because I'm a stranger to you folks. You don't know me from Adam. I could be lying to you right now. Obviously I'm not, but you need to be on guard. As silver stackers, as preppers, you need to be on guard at all times. You need to always protect yourself from people. And so when somebody tells you something, try to research it first. I love that one. Planet Nibiru is going to come strike our Earth, or the world is flat, really flat. Then if the world is flat, how do people fly around the world? I don't know. I mean, you would think you would fly and then have to make a U-turn and come back. Or you would fly and then have to go down, a nosedive, and then go that way, or whatever. I don't know. This whole thing that the world is flat. Yeah, some are further down the rabbit hole than others, and they're going to be harder to wake up. Some people really don't even want to be woken up. Somebody said this one time: I'm rich. I have all the money I can possibly spend in a lifetime. Why do I need to be awake? I got everything I need. So I think sometimes the more money somebody has, believe it or not, the less they care about what's going on in the earth, on this planet. Because everybody's goal is what? To get married to a wonderful wife. I've succeeded in that. And to make a lot of money, and just, not for the sake of having a lot of money, but to get a lot of money to where they can one day retire or live the life of their dreams. That's primary two goals. So once somebody has that already, let's just say somebody already has all the money they want. They don't really care what the hell politics is. I'm getting my monies. I got mine. That's their attitude. So not everybody wants to be woken up. Not everybody cares. Definitely, your kids is where it starts, Silver Stranger. Definitely. You teach your kids, and you teach your kids to be modest also, not bullies or anything like that. You teach them to defend themselves to the fullest capacity that they can, but to be strong, be tall, and what was that saying? Walk tall with a stick or something, but be gentle or whatever. Yeah, I appreciate it if everybody would hit that like button. I really do. And definitely tell your friends and family about me. Right next to the subscribe button, by the way, right next to the subscribe button, there's a bell icon. If you click it, when you're on YouTube, if I show up or if a new video comes up, you will be notified. Absolutely, Wendy. I'm one of my past careers was a dietitian. Honest to God, food is medicine, definitely, and everything can be overdone. I mean, you can eat too much of one thing and it could become unhealthy. They actually, in the dietitian field, they call it the K factor. When you, let's say you eat too much of a good thing, it actually can become toxic because too much of that stuff in your body, or those nutrients in your body, unbalance, make you make you unbalanced, basically, nutritionally wise. Yeah, Buford Pusser, that's right. Walk tall with and carry a big stick. That's Lucifer her. That's how I am. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I bench 315 pounds for 5 reps. And in that gym, when I'm in that gym, I make sure I smile at everybody and try to nod at everybody. You'll see people walking around giving everybody dirty looks, and they can only bench like 140 pounds or something like that. I'll even smile and nod at the fat chicks. Not because I'm trying to hit on them, but because the fat girls and the fat boys, they're feeling insecure there. They really are. In my opinion, they just started working out. They're feeling nervous about their self. They're feeling very embarrassed about themselves. And I want people to improve upon themselves. I want them to come back in the gym. I don't want them to say, I'm never going back to that gym because of my freaking attitude. I'm badass, walking around stiff like a robot. No. You try to be humble to everybody. You try to be nice to everybody in the gym, and not just the people who are in shape, but the people who are, more importantly, the people who are starting out. I'm not saying going over there and telling them how to do anything or anything. Make them feel welcome is what I'm trying to do, trying to say. And that's also in my everyday life, not just the gym. When I'm walking around, let's say the park, or I'm in a grocery store, or I'm in the mall with my wife, I kind of try to do a nod. You know, I don't walk around like this like a freaking jackass. No, you try to acknowledge people. You try to be friendly and let them know that you're no threat. Walk tall, walk proud, but modestly. Mark B, awesome. That's awesome. So you know what I'm talking about, Mark B, right? You don't walk around like a Billy Badass. But I'll tell you what, just because you can bench 350 pounds doesn't mean you can't get your ass kicked. Because there's guys that can't bench 350 pounds, but they can fight. So just because you've got muscles doesn't mean you're a badass at all. If anything, you're actually more slower than other people. The Taxinator. Yeah, the Taxinator. That's right, humble. Be humble and be kind to people. They'll be kind back to you. Yeah, everybody wants to look mad and bad. And the truth of the matter is, nobody's bad. Half the people that look mean, when you really get to know them, they're freaking... They're gentle giants, half of them. They go home to their wives. The wives, you know, boss them around, or, you know, in a nice way. But most mean people are not mean. I ride a Harley Davidson. I know some of the meanest looking bastards there are with the tattoos and everything. You talk to them and it's they're more afraid of their wives than anything. And they're the most gentlest, nicest people is what I'm attempting to say. Anyway, folks, I've had fun. I am always amazed of how fast the time goes by. My wife, I love her. She always says, hey, they're going on a little long. And the truth of the matter is, I don't realize how much time I've been online. So when I finally do get off, it's like, oh my God, I'm looking at the clock and it's a long time. I just didn't realize it. So I'm going to have to say good day. I will be uploading a video, hopefully a bona fide real video sometime tonight. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I normally use the news for inspiration. Thank you so much, Don Oliver. I'm trying to improve, and that's what I'm saying. Every improvement, whether it be in my videos, whether it be how I perform in life, is a process. You just don't wake up. I can tell you I'm going to be a better man tomorrow, but the fact of the matter is, I can pray to God I'm going to be a better man. Hey, I promise I'll be a better man, but it doesn't happen overnight. You become a better man or a better woman through time and through constant attempts to become a better person. Thank you so much. You folks have an awesome day, and take care.